For this Founders Friday, I met with Hamish, one of the founders of the Watch Collectors Club. Hamish is another great example of somebody that went all in full time on a passion of theirs. The Watch Collectors Club has grown to be an incredibly valuable resource to the watch collecting community. They organise events throughout the year in the UK, they organise collector meetups, as well as trips abroad as well, including more recently a group trip to Watches and Wonders 2026. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this interview with Hamish, and there'll be plenty more Founders Fridays on the way over the next few weeks. Thanks for watching and thanks for following. When did you realise you had to go all in?
What happened was we started it just before I was intending to finish my previous career anyway, because I was fed up. And so the thing was, I'll finish up and I'll spend a bit of time deciding what to do next. But because we did the trial events for the Watch Collectors Club at the end of 2019, despite the pandemic happening as I finished my previous career, we were like, this is going to be amazing. You know, we had so much fun doing it. I started to do research and I just realized the opportunity was huge, and I've been all in ever since.
And what scared you the most before taking the leap? Was there any fear at the beginning?
Yeah, the fear is of not knowing what I'm doing. The whole point was to learn all the skills you need to learn to build a community, build a business, but it's also just terrifying, and it remains terrifying. I think what excites a lot of entrepreneurs, including me, is the fact that something progresses in the business, you enter a new area and you realize you just have to now go and learn about all this stuff you have to do it well. And then you have to keep learning to keep doing it better. And that excites me and is still true every day of the week.
Yeah, I think something I learned going into this is, if you want to run your own business this day and age, you have to also do social media. So that's a whole nother learning curve. Was there ever a moment where you thought it might not work?
No, we've been building steadily. So we haven't been an explosive growth consumer company. We've been a very steadily built community. And then all the other things we do now, like the shows and the trips abroad, our experiences, different kinds of event, they're all building on what we've built, and it's all growing. So there's never been a point where I've thought, this isn't working, panic, what do I do next? No, this is still all going really well, and the main thing is still having a huge amount of fun, and so are all the people who come to our events.
What's the biggest thing people don't really see behind the scenes?
There's a lot of work goes into almost every event. So sure, our monthly meetups in the pub, if we're using the same pub, that's pretty straightforward. It's only a few minutes work to reschedule that, book the room, sort out the emails and so on. But even what might seem quite a small event with a small number of people, with a brand, say, can take an awful lot of work behind the scenes. And the same with the experiences. So going to Switzerland and hosting people while we're traveling in Switzerland, that is a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of organising, and also while you're there, it must be quite intense.
Mm-hmm.
With all of that in mind, was it worth it? Was it worth going all in on your own endeavour?
100%. As I said, we're now in a position to do a huge range of exciting things. The project's starting to be developed for 2027. Awesome. That we've still got loads to come in 2026. We're not even halfway through yet, and there's some really exciting things coming this summer and later in the year. And to be honest, the best thing is just hearing such great feedback.
So we're at Felco Watches. There's a lot of great watches here. If you had your pick, where you could have any of these watches that Steph has here today, which would you pick?
It's a Chopard Quattro, which is a dress watch, but with an 8-day power reserve that is also very, very good looking and interesting watch.
And speaking of Chopard, you just picked one up.
I picked it up yesterday, and I was lucky enough to win it in the Lion and Turnbull auction last week. And it was one of those things where we did an event with them to preview the auction, and they were at our show in Glasgow actually, but I just tried it on and I thought, that is a really cool little number, very well priced, and I won it.
Amazing. Well, congrats, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.